I'm Emily. 2 months into the Cold War with my boyfriend Ethan. He publicly announced his new relationship at my birthday party. A friend whispered, "Ethan cares about you most. He's probably just fooling around." I shook my head. "It's fine. I don't care." Ethan shattered his wine glass beside me. "You'd better mean that." That night, I dialed that number. "Did you mean it when you said you liked me?" "Of course. Loving you is my privilege. Emily." During the second month of our silent battle, Ethan showed up at my birthday celebration with Lily, the girl he'd once despised. Scrawny as a chick. Crying over every little problem. Can't stand the sight of her. He'd scoffed. Now the man who'd never glanced her way was holding her hand at my party. Having fought with me for weeks over this very girl. My fists clenched involuntarily as I watched Lily cling to Ethan's arm. "Happy birthday." His familiar voice beside me made my throat tighten. I kept my eyes down, afraid my voice would crack. Ethan casually handed me a navy velvet jewelry box. "This is from Lily and me." She picked it out specially. Lily brightened, nestling closer to him. "It's true, Emily." Ethan spent all afternoon choosing. "You should open it." I swallowed the lump in my throat. Inside glittered a diamond pendant shaped like a bunny. My brows furrowed. Though the brand was exclusive, the cutesy design was completely unlike my usual style. After years of receiving perfect gifts, Ethan knew better. He simply didn't care anymore. "Problem?" Ethan's tone chilled when he saw my expression. Forcing a smile, I lied. "It's lovely. Thank you. I knew you'd love it." Lily chirped, rabbit-like herself as she hugged Ethan's arm. "This designer only suits sophisticated women like you. Ordinary girls could never pull it off." Her lashes fluttered demurely. Ethan stroked her hair. "Don't worry. I'll buy you whatever you want. You'll never need to envy anyone." My head snapped up, meeting Lily's triumphant gaze. The man who'd ridiculed clingy women now peeled oranges for her, letting her smear cake crumbs on his designer shirt. They looked every inch the happy couple. While I sat stiffly, my smile cracking. As I stood to leave, Ryan gripped my shoulder. "Ethan," he said pointedly, "since you brought a new friend to Emily's party, shouldn't you introduce her properly?" All these years, Ethan had cycled through girls like seasons. Commitment meant nothing to him. Yet there I remained, Emily, the perpetual shadow trailing his every move. Our circle knew about my decade-long crush, collectively assuming Ethan would eventually settle for me despite his wandering eye. To Ryan, Lily was just another temporary distraction destined to fade. Then Ethan dropped the bomb. "This is Lily. My girlfriend." The VIP lounge plunged into stunned silence. As the undisputed prince of our social hierarchy with family connections that commanded respect, nobody dared challenge him. Someone coughed nervously, triggering a ripple of forced congratulations. My fingers tightened around my clutch as the hollow well wishes grated my nerves. Ethan's hand closed around my wrist as I tried slipping away. "Emily," he warned, irritation sharpening his gaze. "You're not a child anymore. Can't you at least pretend to be happy for me?" His patronizing tone resurrected the memory from 2 months prior, the last time he'd used that infuriating older brother act. 10 years of orbiting his world. 10 years of him basking in my devotion without reciprocation. Last Christmas Eve, I'd trekked across half the city through a snowstorm to deliver his gift. He'd leaned against his Porsche still tipsy from some party, arms spread wide. "You really braved this weather for me." My self-control shattered like thin ice. I crashed into his embrace, drowning in the whiskey-tinged kiss that followed. Later, he'd presented me with that sapphire ring, the same one his mother wore in her wedding photos. "Is this really for me?" "You've been eyeing it since we were 16. After that night, our friends exchanged knowing looks whenever we entered a room together. Ethan never confirmed our relationship, but his sudden attentiveness spoke volumes. The morning coffee deliveries, his jacket draped over my shoulders at chilly rooftop parties, fingertips brushing mine when passing cigarettes. Then Lily happened. He claimed to despise her yet couldn't stop mentioning her, the way she laughed at his terrible jokes. Her habit of chewing pen caps during lectures. Each anecdote carved deeper into my resolve. The cruelest part? He never technically ended whatever we were. 2 months ago at his university, some frat boy mistook me for his girlfriend. Ethan usually ignored such comments. But that day he'd practically dragged me out of the lecture hall. We nearly collided with Lily in the doorway. First impressions? She looked like a porcelain doll, moments from cracking, all wide Bambi eyes glistening with unshed tears. Her choked sob echoed down the corridor as she fled, leaving me alone with Ethan's white-knuckled grip on my arm. Ethan instinctively released my hand and took 2 steps forward before stopping abruptly. He silently led me home without another word. That evening, when Grandpa Smith jokingly mentioned my name during his marriage pressure routine, Ethan completely lost it. Emily, can't you have some self-respect? I've always thought of you as a sister. I can only be your brother. Drop these delusions. Whatever you told Grandpa, I'll never like you. Get over it. He knocked over a glass of milk, scalding my calf. Yet I felt nothing, numb with despair as I stared at him. But last Christmas, I was drunk. Ethan's icy voice shattered me. You knew I wasn't sober yet played along. Pathetic. Stay away. If you can't accept this, we're done. True to his word, he ignored me for 2 months. Had Ryan not persuaded him, he'd have skipped my birthday party altogether. But his appearance became the final blow, turning me into the pitted laughingstock on my own birthday. Lowering my voice, I demanded, "What about me, Ethan? If you never cared, why string me along?" He stiffened, evading the question. Emily, you still don't get it. I do. I wiped my tears, meeting his stormy gaze. I'll return the ring. Our raised voices drew Lily's attention. What ring? Ethan's expression darkened, pulling Lily close. He dismissed me with a frigid keep it before devoting himself to soothing her. Ryan whispered comfortingly, "Everyone knows you're his priority. This fling means nothing. Trust me. Don't take it to heart." Once, this was true. When I'd first moved to Beicheng, struggling with the dialect and bullies, Ethan shielded me. After my grandfather died and my parents stayed abroad, he convinced Grandpa Smith to take me in. For over a decade, he'd been my constant protector. At college application time, my parents wanted me in Haicheng. Ethan raced there overnight, vowing to my family he'd watch over me, keeping me in Beicheng. At 18, I'd been certain of his feelings, but he'd forgotten it all. Watching him laugh with Lily, I exhaled slowly. Thanks, Ryan. Really, I'm past caring. Before he could respond, glass shattered behind us. Ethan, your hand, Lily cried. He remained half bent, blood dripping from his shattered tumbler onto the carpet. Lily trembled tearfully while I stood motionless, the crimson pooling between us like every unspoken word. Ethan remained eerily calm, nudging Lily. It's fine. Go find a server and have them bring some medicine. Lily didn't question him, swallowing her tears as she left. After her departure, the private room fell silent again. Ryan glanced between Ethan and me, just as he tried to mediate. Ethan's cold laugh cut through the air. His expression turned murderous, making me instinctively shrink back. He pinned me down with his uninjured hand. Emily, you better keep your word. Under the dim lighting, Ethan's gaze turned glacial, his words dripping with barely contained fury. Yet I stood my ground. I will. I meant every word. Ethan left before Lily returned. Somehow he must have explained things, because Lily quickly added me on WeChat. I'm so sorry, Emily. Ethan wasn't feeling well, so we left early. Hope you don't mind. No worries. Lily didn't say anything else, and I couldn't be bothered either. Hours later, I saw the necklace Ethan gave her on her Moments feed, identical to my birthday gift. My chest tightened inexplicably. Like possessed, I tapped the like button. Strangely, the post disappeared within half an hour. I shrugged it off, focusing on packing for Coastal City. Stanford had always been my dream school. I'd stayed in Northern City for Ethan all those years, abandoning that aspiration with lingering regret. When Ethan spat those cruel words 2 months ago, that regret exploded into full-blown resolution. I'd wasted years on him, like throwing pebbles into the ocean, creating not a single ripple. With no one left in Northern City who cared, I needed to leave. My meticulous planning paid off last week with a Stanford grad school offer. I'd only agreed to Ryan's birthday party idea to get proper closure with Ethan. Yet we'd still ended up tearing into each other, leaving nothing but bitterness. On my 22nd birthday night, I curled up beneath the starry sky, silent tears tracking down my cheeks, just as loneliness threatened to drown me. My phone rang. A cool male voice came through, "Happy birthday. Look up." I raised my head to see colorful fireworks exploding across the night sky, custom-designed patterns I'd sketched last month. My heart hammered wildly as I scrambled to my feet. Leaning over the balcony railing, I spotted Alex standing below, gazing up at me with a faint smile. He waved. "Like the show? It's beautiful. Still feel like crying?" Something peculiar stirred in my chest, bathed in the fireworks' glow. Reckless courage surged through me, mixed with sheer gamble. "Mr. Taylor, does that confession from last month still stand?" The words hung irrevocably in the air. From that distance, I studied Alex's every micro-expression. He remained motionless, yet the breathing through the receiver grew increasingly labored. After a long silence, I heard his relieved voice. "Of course. It's my honor to love you, Emily." Alex had squeezed time from his business trip to celebrate my birthday in North City. After watching fireworks and exchanging gifts, he rushed to catch a red-eye flight overseas. Before leaving, he embraced me gently, his careful movements ensuring I felt no discomfort. "I'll wait for you in Coastal City." I said nothing, quietly watching his taillights disappear into the night. Yet my heart no longer felt the suffocating emptiness. After the birthday party, Ethan moved out from the Smith family estate, though he clearly avoided me. Lily's constant relationship posts kept him painfully visible in my social feed. Her oversharing ironically built my immunity until his presence became more irritating than aching. The moment I received my diploma, I flew to Coastal City. Alex met me at the airport for a late dinner. Moonlight softened his sharp features as he leaned forward. "Emily, are you absolutely certain about this?" I smiled at his intense gaze. "Alex, I'm sitting right here. Are you getting cold feet?" His smirk radiated confidence. "Never." He insisted on walking me home. My artist parents had moved to Europe last year, leaving the spacious house vacant. Alex frowned at the dark windows. "Call me anytime, day or night. You've said that 3 times now." I took my luggage, waving dismissively. "I've lived alone for years. I can handle this." He suddenly closed the distance, gripping my arm when I tried to retreat. "Correction, Emily." The sea breeze carried his laughter as our eyes met. "Coastal City welcomes you." A pause. "I love you." We'd first met at a North City gallery where my large-scale painting hung, the piece that took an entire summer to complete. When children smeared ketchup across the canvas, the staff demanded I repaint it immediately. During their aggressive negotiations, Alex appeared like sudden sunlight through storm clouds. "Sometimes imperfection reveals true beauty," he'd remarked, his gaze lingering on the vandalized artwork rather than the flustered curators. He suggested I crop the painting, the simplest solution. Yet I hesitated, torn by sentimentality. The museum staff grew anxious as I deliberated. Cutting down the size would make it worthless. They protested. I sighed. "You purchased it. Preservation failures are your responsibility." Ultimately, this wasn't my mistake. Assistance would be a courtesy, not an obligation. The gallery had no right to demand I repaint. The young coordinator assigned to me nearly cried from frustration. Irritation prickled beneath my skin. "Fine." I relented. "Let me repurchase it at original price." This compromise prevented their financial loss while salvaging my work. Though financially disadvantageous, I'd rather store my creation in storage than watch them mutilate it through cropping or replication. As museum staff loaded the canvas onto a truck 30 minutes later, Alex reappeared. Sunset gilded his sculpted profile, nature's unfair masterpiece. "Thank you for earlier," I said. His laughter carried unexpected warmth as he offered a business card. "Miss Emily, would you consider collaborating?" Thus I learned Alex headed Haicheng's premier auction house. Artistry requires pragmatism, even prodigies need patrons. My fortune became evident during his subsequent visits to Beijing. We discussed brushstrokes and bid increments, debated graduate studies at Haicheng University, dissected the alchemy of commercial valuation. Then Ethan's cold silence over Lily shattered my equilibrium. Alex found me wandering campus like a ghost. "If Beijing brings no joy," he asked, "why not leave for graduate school? Who says I'm unhappy?" The challenge hung between us until he smiled. "As your client, I need your endless inspiration. As your friend, I want your happiness. As your admirer," his gaze held mine, "I want your soul unchained. Be whoever you choose to be." Rain had drenched Beijing for weeks until his arrival brought sunlight. This city raised me, but wouldn't become my cage. No more groveling for Ethan's affection. My talent deserved wings. My dreams demanded horizons. When Alex asked, "Could you try loving me in Haicheng?" the clouds parted. There will be someone worthy of my love who also loves me. I need to leave. During my first week in Sea City, Alexander Taylor accompanied me to 3 art exhibitions. Each time, we'd arrive 2 hours before closing and stay until the lights dimmed, naturally sharing dinner afterward. Though he meticulously scheduled these outings, work calls from his assistant still frequently interrupted us. Returning from a 5-minute call during one exhibition, Alex wore an apologetic expression. "I promised to be fully present for you." My oversight. Seeing such dedication from our client's CEO actually makes me more confident about this partnership, I teased. Alex stepped closer. "Just a client?" His wounded puppy eyes made me laugh. "What should I do?" "You're becoming more than that." He blinked, amusement dancing in his gaze. "Then I should thank you for granting me official status." Alex pursued goals with laser focus, including me. His devotion moved me, though I hated inconveniencing him during work hours. "Next time, don't feel obligated to accompany me. I can manage alone." Tilting his head, Alex softened. "I only fear you might feel lonely." His words melted something inside me. As we wandered neon-lit streets, our elongated shadows merging under street lamps, courage surged through me. Halting mid-step, I turned and embraced him. "Thank you, Alex." His body stiffened momentarily before strong arms encircled me. Procrastination plagued me. 2 weeks in Sea City passed before I tackled the dozen suitcases cluttering my living room. Buried in a jewelry box's depths, I discovered the sapphire ring Ethan had given me, somehow transported here despite my resolve to leave him. Months later, the ring only evoked weariness, though Ethan insisted I keep it. Maintaining this connection contradicted my clean break. Without hesitation, I arranged insured shipping to return the valuable piece to North City. In North City's racetrack lounge, Ethan sat rigidly in racing gear, obsessively checking his silent phone. Anxiety gnawed at him since discovering Emily's dark apartment last night. She wasn't one for late nights, yet she never returned. Scrolling through their 3-month dormant chat history, realization struck: Emily had quietly disappeared from his life. He clenched his jaw, interpreting this as manipulative gamesmanship. She wanted him to chase her. As always, Ethan wasn't incapable of being appeased, but he needed Emily to give him an out first. Him initiating a call to Emily was out of the question. Too humiliating. After much deliberation, Ethan posted a cryptic Instagram story. "The taro balls from South Street are terrible." He hated overly sweet desserts, but Emily loved making them and always forced him to try her creations. He'd assumed she'd come running the moment she saw this post. Yet after waiting all night, Emily hadn't even liked it. When Ethan picked up his phone for the 3rd time, Ryan glanced at his screen. Predictably, it showed Emily's chat window. Ryan snorted. If you want to see her, take the initiative. Checking your phone 800 times a day and posting pitiful Instagram stories won't compare to making one direct phone call. Ethan shot him a cold glare. Shut it. Ryan didn't. Most people fawned over Ethan for his wealth and influence. Ryan was different, Ethan's closest friend who understood him better than he understood himself. The guy clearly had feelings for Emily but clung to their fake sibling dynamic. Self-inflicted misery. Watching Ethan's brooding expression, Ryan decided intervention was necessary. You've got Lily now. Let Emily go. Ethan sked, eyes drifting to Lily's excited figure receiving racing instructions from a coach nearby. His frown deepened. Emily's different. How? Because you know she likes you? Think you can keep stringing her along indefinitely? When Ethan remained silent, Ryan pressed on. She doesn't owe you anything. Emily deserves someone who cherishes her. If you want this, cut things off with Lily and beg Emily's forgiveness properly. Whether she accepts, he trailed off, remembering the glacial resolve in Emily's eyes during Ethan's birthday party. The memory still chilled him. Surprisingly, Ethan didn't argue but fell into contemplative silence until his assistant arrived with a package. Courier insisted you open this personally. Sir. Ethan's fingers trembled slightly as he unwrapped the small box. Inside lay the sapphire ring he'd given Emily last Christmas. His mind went blank. He frantically dialed her number, only to hear endless ringing. When he tried texting, red error notifications flooded his screen, she'd blocked him everywhere. Panic surged through Ethan. He grabbed his car keys and bolted for the door. Ryan yanked him back by the collar. Don't be an idiot. You can't. Let go. Ethan roared, shoving past him. Tires screeched as his sports car peeled out of the racetrack parking lot, kicking up gravel in his desperation to reach the one person he'd taken for granted. Ryan lifted the delivery slip. Emily left Northridge City. Upon learning of her departure, Ethan's first reaction was rage. He'd grown up with Emily. They'd fought before, but never gone more than a week without making up. This time, their Cold War had lasted 3 whole months. Now Emily had silently fled to Coastal City. This wasn't like the considerate, responsible girl he knew. Ethan became convinced Emily had turned rebellious. She was clearly throwing a tantrum, waiting for him to cave. Well, he wouldn't. Runaway children needed to learn their lesson. When Ryan asked if he wanted to go to Coastal City, Ethan firmly refused. She's got no family or friends there. She'll come crawling back soon enough. Watching his confident demeanor, Ryan shook his head and muttered, fucking psycho. To prove his point, Ethan moved back to the family estate. Every night at 8 p.m. sharp, he'd watch the Johnson family mansion's windows. 2 weeks passed. On Ethan's 23rd birthday, drunk and alone in his childhood bedroom, he stared at the completely dark house across the lawn. Midnight came. No birthday message from Emily. The realization stung. How could she be this cruel? They'd always fought before. But Emily would come find him at school within days, yelling, crying, anything but leaving. This felt different. After 13 years of inseparable companionship, how could she walk away? Even if they were to end things. Shouldn't he be the one making that decision? Not her. By dawn, Ethan had convinced himself. He boarded the first flight to Coastal City. He'd make Emily behave. Maybe she'd cry when she saw him, giving him excuse to comfort her. Then he'd bring her home. Coastal City's summer humidity pressed like a damp towel. I spent days painting indoors, only venturing out after sunset. That's when I'd often find Alex waiting by my door. You could have texted you were coming, I said, accepting the iced fruit tea he offered. Timed it with your routine. What if I stayed in all night? Then I'd beg Ms. Johnson to invite me in for tea. His raised eyebrow carried faint possessiveness that made my pulse quicken. I looked down. Silence stretching between us. It's been a month since I came to Ocean Crest. Though Alex and I are officially dating. Our relationship remains confined to handholding and brief, tentative kisses. We've never progressed beyond that. Not falling for Alex would be nearly impossible. From his striking looks and athletic build to his intellectual depth and eloquence. From his charming personality to his professional accomplishments, he embodies perfection. Having such an exceptional man constantly around yet keeping physical distance feels like exquisite torture. Once after he pulled away from a chaste goodnight kiss, I instinctively grabbed his forearm. His low chuckle vibrated against my palm. "Never doubt this," he murmured, thumb brushing my cheekbone. "I'm far more taken with you than you realize." His breath warmed my skin as he added hoarsely, "But I need to be certain you won't regret this. Can we take things slower?" I understand his hesitation. When I accepted his confession, it happened mere hours after my explosive fight with Ethan. Alex worries I impulsively followed him to Ocean Crest during emotional turmoil, terrified I might leave. Yet equally afraid I'll resent this choice later. But he underestimates me. Every major decision I've made, pursuing Ethan, walking away from that toxic relationship, choosing Ocean Crest University, embracing Alex's affection, resulted from careful deliberation. Previously, I'd always seen Alex as the consummate strategist, meticulously controlling every situation. Now I realize in our relationship, he's positioned himself as the vulnerable petitioner, surrendering all initiative to me. Since he prioritizes my comfort above all, I'm determined to reciprocate his devotion tenfold. Over 2 weeks, I secretly painted his portrait. When I asked him to collect it at my studio, he assumed it was another piece for gallery auction. "Didn't you just sell me 2 paintings before moving here?" he teased via text. "Should I be concerned about your cash flow?" I simply smiled at his messages. That evening, when Alex saw the life-sized canvas, his breath caught. He stared at the meticulous brushstrokes capturing his profile before rasping, You never paint portraits." He was right. Preserving someone's essence on canvas carries profound significance and intimacy I'd never experienced before. Alex became my first and only subject. Nodding, I asked, "Do you like it?" "An artist friend once told me," he said thickly, cradling my face. "That changed painting habits reflect transformed perspectives." His thumb traced my jawline as emotion thickened his voice. "So Emily, does this mean you've truly moved on? That we?" Reading the vulnerable hope in his eyes, I stepped into his space with open arms. "Yes, Alex. So, would you like to hold me now?" His answering embrace lifted me off the floor. The kiss left me breathless in Alex's arms for the first time. Clutching his shirt like a drowning woman, I felt his comforting hand stroke my back. His gaze lingered on my rumpled collar with tender exasperation. "Let's stay in. I'll cook for us. Okay?" I never imagined Alex, this golden boy raised with silver spoons, could wield kitchen knives with such practiced ease. Watching his methodical movements, I impulsively embraced him from behind. "You keep surprising me, Alex." He turned with mock sternness, steering me toward the kitchen doorway. "This is just the beginning, Emily. Plenty more wonders await your discovery." Left to my own devices, I set up an easel to paint the flowers he'd brought. Mid-stroke, Ryan's call interrupted. The friend who'd checked on me after I left North City spoke urgently over party noises. Aren't you coming back?" When I declined, he hesitated. "But it's Ethan's birthday, he's waited all night. Could you at least call?" The revelation struck me. I'd completely forgotten the date I once meticulously planned celebrations for. My calm response surprised even myself. "Wish him happy birthday from me, Ryan." The follow-up video showed Ethan brooding at his own party despite Lily's presence and friends' cheers. Where this scene would have shattered me before, now I felt nothing. Turning from my phone, I found Alex frozen behind me holding sweet and sour ribs. After setting down the plate, he pulled me onto his lap, burying his face against my neck. "I'm done waiting," he murmured, producing a ring from his pocket like a magician's final trick. "Marry me." Like a burst of fireworks, the words soared and bloomed in my chest. Under his hopeful gaze, I nodded solemnly. Alexander Taylor didn't leave that night. We kissed from the couch to the carpet. Then from the carpet to the bed. Our breaths tangled, unraveling our souls. At the peak of passion, Alex regained control, hovering above me with labored breaths. He brushed his fingers over my flushed cheeks, torn between frustration and regret. Emily. Not tonight. The reality hit me, we had no protection. Fine. I sighed, flopping back dramatically, earning Alex's muffled chuckle. He pressed feather-like kisses along my neck until our racing hearts calmed. Then carried me back to the living room to finish our abandoned kitchen project. That night, we fell asleep wrapped in each other's arms beneath the starry sky. Come Saturday morning, I found Alex's side of the bed empty. Emerging from the bedroom, I caught him stepping out of the guest room freshly showered. His robe hung open, water droplets tracing his abs as I swallowed hard. Alex smirked, deliberately changing clothes before me. No need to stare. You'll get this view daily. His teasing carried unexpected sincerity that restrained yet alluring charm I adored. He wheeled me to the dining area where breakfast waited. As always, Alex had mastered weaving affection into every mundane detail. Alex, I confessed over coffee. I think I'm falling harder for you. His hand paused mid-pour before he set down the milk jug. Emily, you deserve nothing less. This is simply how love should be. In that moment, I understood why Alex felt different. His upbringing had forged a true gentleman, respectful yet intentional, maintaining equality I'd never known. My past crush Ethan had basked in my admiration from his pedestal. But perpetual admiration strains the neck, and unequal heights can't embrace. Thank God I'd walked away. Or I might have missed this. I stole another glance at Alex reading on the sofa. Eat properly, he chided without looking up. I'm not vanishing. Just as I ducked my head, the doorbell rang. Before I could move, Alex was already striding toward the entrance. Ever the protector. You eat. I'll go. Okay. Assuming it was the delivery guy. I didn't argue and kept munching my sandwich. But when Alex didn't return after a long while, unease crept in. I rushed to the doorway only to find Ethan standing there with stormy eyes. My first reaction was shock. In mere months, he'd transformed, dark circles bruising his undereyes, stubble shadowing his jawline, exhaustion radiating from his slumped shoulders. What are you doing here? My voice faltered. Ethan's bloodshot gaze burned into me. He jerked his chin toward Alex, voice sharp as shattered glass. Who's he? Alex remained unfazed, though his brow furrowed slightly when he noticed my bare feet. Emily, go put shoes on. Huh? I glanced down, wiggling naked toes against the hardwood. He'd lectured me about this habit yesterday. Ignoring the brewing tension between the two men, I scrambled backward into the apartment. My retreat ignited Ethan's temper. I flew all the way to Haiteng for you. And you're still running? He lunged forward, fingers grazing my sleeve before Alex smacked his hand away. Use your words, not your hands. Alex's warning held steel. He nodded at me, still frozen by Ethan's outburst. Shoes. Now. When I returned, both men remained statue still in the foyer. Alex clearly had no intention of inviting Ethan inside. The petty possessiveness almost made me smile, but I schooled my features. Ethan, why are you here? His eyes darted between us. Alex raised an eyebrow and wordlessly withdrew, granting privacy. Pack your things, Ethan demanded. You're coming back to Beicheng. The abruptness startled a laugh from me. I'm not leaving. Hade University's graduate program starts next month. What university? His eyes narrowed before widening. You changed your application. Last year when I'd mentioned grad school plans, he'd cut me off mid-sentence. Just stay at Beicheng University. Easier to get into your alma mater. His dismissal had choked back my confession about Hade's renowned marine biology program. That night, I'd stayed up filling out applications, every single one for Hade. I was willing to travel between two cities every week for Ethan, never letting distance come between us. As long as he wanted to see me. But before I even received my acceptance letter, Lily appeared by Ethan's side. Later, I became immensely grateful for my stubborn persistence in not giving up on Haida University. Facing Ethan's accusations now, I took a deep breath. Haida University was always my dream, my first choice. The admission list was published weeks ago. Had you paid attention, but Ethan had always been overconfident, assuming I'd remain devoted to him forever while never sparing me a second glance. His Adam's apple bobbed before he muttered, "Fine. Attend Haida then. Come home with me first, I'll bring you back when term starts." I stepped away from his reaching hand. "But Ethan, this is my home. When Grandpa died, he'd insisted I consider the Smith family my own, vowing to always care for me. He broke that promise first." Hearing my formal address, pain flickered in his eyes. I pressed on. "Go back to Northern City. I'm not returning." "What do you mean?" His voice rose. "You're refusing over one argument? I came personally to fetch you." "Since when does your personal attention hold value?" He froze, stunned. "By what right do you demand this? As my friend? Brother? Relative? Never as a boyfriend." Ethan paled. "You said you loved me. Not anymore. You're just upset. That bastard's manipulating you." Rage revived him as he seized my arm. "Emily, you barely know Alex. Letting him move in? This is madness. You're hurting me." I struggled as his grip tightened until Alex's arrival forced him back. Rubbing my reddened wrist, Alex turned glacial. "Mr. Smith, Emily understands you perfectly. What have you ever given her?" The words visibly staggered Ethan. Exhausted, I stated, "I returned your ring. I've stopped clinging to you like before. You have Lily now." Remembering the sweet girl, I sighed. "Value what's in front of you. You chose her, don't fail her too." His laugh held bitterness. "I don't care for her much anymore. It was just. Your recklessness isn't my concern." I moved to the half-open door. "We're done here." Outside stood wide-eyed Lily, frozen on the threshold. Ryan looked awkward and uncomfortable. Lily stared blankly at Ethan, her eyes quickly reddening before she wiped her tears and ran out just like before. Ethan hesitated briefly before chasing after her, leaving me alone with Ryan in awkward silence. He seemed about to say something but stopped upon noticing Alex standing behind me. Sighing, Ryan embraced me like a real older brother. "Once you've made your choice, don't look back." I nodded silently. When Ryan released me, he turned to Alex. "Take good care of her." Alex raised an eyebrow, uttering his third complete sentence since Ethan's appearance. "Count on it." Ethan's sudden arrival left me strangely tense around Alex. "Don't you have questions?" I asked. He simply glanced at my breakfast plate. "Emily, you haven't finished your meal." That's Alex for you, offering unconditional trust, never prying into old wounds or blaming me for unexpected complications. He loved me calmly and steadfastly, embracing my past and claiming my future. My gratitude for him overflowed. Before school started, Alex took me camping. We watched sunset melt into sunrise, his lips brushing the engagement ring engraved with our names. Curious, I stretched my hand in dawn's light. "Alex, how long have you carried this ring?" His smile crinkled the corners of his eyes. "Since you said you'd come to Seaview City." My arms tightened around him instantly. "Alex, I really like you so much." From that day, he murmured against my hair, "I've cherished every future moment with you. Meeting you was my fortune. Miss Johnson, I look forward to our journey." Meanwhile, Lily discovered her pregnancy, intending to announce it on Ethan's birthday. But his cold shoulder silenced her. When Ethan abruptly flew to Harbor City next morning, Lily panicked, certain he was leaving her for good. She found Ryan and threatened him with the baby in her belly, begging him to take her to Ethan. She once naively believed she could make Ethan change his ways. But after overhearing those words outside Emily's door, she felt like a fool. Of course, even someone as remarkable as Emily couldn't earn Ethan's affection. How could she possibly compare to Emily? So when Ethan chased after her, repeating "I'm sorry" over and over, Lily simply wiped her tears and calmly stated, "I'm pregnant." Ethan froze. The next instant, regret and elation simultaneously flooded his face. "Then, let's keep it. We'll get married. I'll treat you right." Lily saw the flicker of disappointment in his eyes and clenched her jaw. Drawing a deep breath, she declared, "Ethan, I won't marry you. And I don't want this child." "What?" Facing Ethan's barely contained rage, the timid Lily found her courage for the first time. "I need the procedure. But I'm short on money. Give me $2 million. After this, I'll disappear from your life." Ethan stared at her, lips parting soundlessly before whispering, "You're leaving me too?" "Yes." Lily wiped her tears, meeting his gaze squarely. "You never learn to cherish what's in front of you. You don't deserve Emily. You don't deserve me either. I don't want your love anymore." As Lily walked away, Ethan collapsed like a marionette with cut strings. He'd reaped what he sowed. On his 23rd birthday, he lost Emily, lost Lily, lost his own child. He still didn't know who he truly loved. But he knew this: he'd lost the two women who loved him most.